The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. 3 to be charged in connection with the recent murder. Police investigating the country's latest murder. And more on banking reform in the country. The latest. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, August 26th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we're talking with the National Training Agency about their latest cohort and more on what's happening with them. That's all ahead. They'll head into business as well. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, 3 men will be charged in court today in relation to the murder of Philip Adderley, who was discovered stabbed and bound by the hands and feet in southwest New Providence on August 15th. At the time of the discovery, police reported that Adderley was found submerged in waters near Stewart's Coves. Police say that they are aware of graphic videos and text messages that provide a detailed account of the events leading up to this homicide. And they've launched an investigation to determine the origin of those messages. The videos and text messages circulated over the weekend. Meanwhile, the Office of the Prime Minister announcing that Mario Bannister, Managing Director of Clifton Heritage National Park, has been terminated from his position. OPM provided no explanation for the termination and did not say who will replace Bannister. According to Bannister's LinkedIn profile, he has previously held other prominent positions as well, including Director of Bahamas Development Bank and Director of the Housing Commission. He's also a Justice of the Peace. Clifton Heritage National Park is an historical site managed by the Clifton Heritage Authority in western New Providence. Police investigating 2 separate shooting incidents in New Providence that left 1 man dead and 2 others in the hospital. The first took place around 1 a.m. Sunday in Bozine Town off Tondik Williams-Darling Highway. Police say individuals were attending a family gathering when gunshots went off. 2 men, a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old, tried to run for cover but were injured. The younger victim, who was shot multiple times, ran into a house, collapsed, and died. The other victim, who was shot in the leg, was taken to the hospital. Police are hoping CCTV footage will assist them in their investigation. It's the 7th person murdered in the Bahamas this month. Most of the incidents taking place in New Providence. However, one shooting occurred in Bimini back on August 15th, 2 in Grand Bahama. 2 Grand Bahama men died in hospital after a shooting on that island on August 7th. The other shooting happened on Sunday around 2 a.m. on Soldier Road, east of Old Trail. A man was driving in that area when someone in a red Japanese car overtook him, fired shots in his direction, hitting him in his arm before they left the scene. Police say the victim drove to the hospital. His were not life-threatening. A murder trial that was supposed to begin last week has been pushed back until 2026. Natasha Charles, Antonio Paul, and Chadwick Capron are accused of the August 22nd, 2019 shooting of George Seymour. The incident took place at Foster Street in Chippingham. Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson rescheduled their trial for June 2026 due to the ongoing trial of Long Island MP Adrian Gibson and 4 others. Gibson's trial began in November 2023 and has proceeded in fits and starts due to multiple legal challenges. Prosecutors allege that Gibson illegally benefited from Water and Sewage Corporation contracts while he served as executive chairman and failed to declare his interest in them. A former assistant manager at Burger King granted a conditional discharge after he admitted to stealing more than $1,500. Prosecutors say 24-year-old Deshaun Wells of Zion Boulevard stole $1,590 between July 14th and 24th while he worked at the fast food chain's Bernard Road, New Providence location. Wells pleaded guilty to 6 counts of stealing by reason of employment at his arraignment before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. Wells was given the chance to keep a clean record. He was ordered to remain on good behavior for 12 months, repay the stolen cash, and perform 200 hours of community service. He risks spending 9 months in prison if he doesn't abide by the conditions imposed by the court. Opposition leader Michael Pintard pressing his case for reform of the commercial banking sector, doubling down on his pledge to ensure a more competitive environment that would protect consumers should the FNM win the next general election. Pintard says his administration would make it easier for Bahamians to open banks or become authorized financial service providers. He pledged that the central bank will be required to set ambitious standards for efficient in-bank and interbank transactions to make the banking sector more dynamic. And the government has released land reform bills and launched consultations for land reform in the Bahamas, with Attorney General Ryan Pinder meeting last Thursday with the Bahamas Bar Association, advising that these reforms will improve the efficiency of property transactions, create more security and confidence of title of land, and create a more transparent framework for land transactions in the country. And President of the Medical Association of the Bahamas, Dr. Gemma Roll, says that doctors at Princess Margaret Hospital are hopeful that staffing issues at the hospital will be addressed as the government prepares to construct a new specialty health facility in western New Providence. Roll says the association met with the health minister after concerns were raised in May at a town meeting on the proposed hospital. At that event, Roll said doctors were unaware of the plan and questioned how the Davis administration would staff the new facility given the current manpower challenges at PMH. Yesterday, she said that after meeting with Health Minister Darville, the doctors are in, quote, wait-and-see mode, hoping that the issues will be addressed. Overseas, after a short-lived calm following a heavy exchange of strikes between Israel and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah, fighting did resume today. State media and witnesses reported that Israeli strikes targeted the Lebanese border and the border village of Tyre Harfa and the area of the coastal city of Sidon. All of this today. A car was hit in the latter strike. It was not immediately clear whether there were casualties. On Sunday, Israel launched dozens of strikes on southern Lebanon that it described as a preemptive operation, saying it had averted a major attack planned by Hezbollah in retaliation for the killing of one of its top commanders. Shortly afterward, Hezbollah launched a barrage of hundreds of drones and rockets, which it said was in retaliation for the killing of Faoud Shukar. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah claimed drones had hit an Israeli military intelligence site near Tel Aviv. Israel said no military target was hit, though. Neither offered evidence. Hezbollah declared its retaliatory operation was over, and neither side launched strikes overnight. And protesters taking to the streets across Mexico in the latest opposition to President Andres Manuel López Obrador's proposed judicial overhaul and other moves by the governing party that critics say will weaken democratic checks and balances. Demonstrators rallied in Mexico City, as well as many other cities across the country, to voice worries about changing the judiciary, particularly making judgeships subject to election. Many protesters are also upset by a proposal to do away with independent regulatory agencies. In the capital, throngs of people, many of them federal court workers and judges on strike, ended their march outside the Supreme Court building in the heart of the city, waving flags reading "Judicial Independence and Respect Democracy." Following big electoral victories in June by the president's Morena party and its allies, the government has pushed for sweeping changes to Mexico's judicial system, long at odds with López Obrador, a populist who has openly attacked judges and ignored court orders. His proposal includes having judges elected to office, something that analysts, judges, and international observers fear would stack courts with politically biased judges with little experience. The proposed changes would require approval by Mexico's Congress, where the governing coalition has the majority. In sports, Timothy Munnings is returning to the Bahamas as a world champion again. The World Outdoor Relay gold medalist from 2001 and Olympic relay bronze medalist from 2000 is now a World Masters champion. Munnings winning that title in the men's 55 to 59 age group at the 400 meters at the 25th World Masters Athletics Championships in Sweden on Saturday, dominating the competition. Munnings circled the track in a season's best time of 53.05 seconds for the win, capturing the Bahamas' first gold medal at the World Masters Championship. Italy's Claudio Fausti won the silver, and his countryman Francesco D'Agostino won the bronze. Munnings was nearly a full second ahead of the rest of the competition. We'll read more about this medal for Tim Munnings in today's Guardian Sports section. The New York Yankees have activated outfielder Jazz Chisholm from the 10-day injured list. Right on the first day he was eligible to return, Chisholm, who had been sidelined since August 12th due to an UCL sprain in his left elbow, made a much anticipated comeback on Friday. Speaking a day before his activation, Yankees manager Aaron Boone updated the media on his recovery, saying that he was really close. You can read all about this in today's Guardian Sports section. And the University of the Bahamas Mingos men's soccer team coming away with a draw and a win to open their 2024 international tour in Florida. They got an historic 9-2 victory against Millennia Atlantic University in Miramar and play the Ave Maria University scoreless in Naples. Details in today's Guardian Sports section. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. And your first look at weather for today, we've got high pressure that's producing the typical summertime weather pattern for the country. That's going to continue today with occasional bouts of moisture and weak troughing. That's going to bring slightly elevated chances of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. By tomorrow, an upper-level trough will dig southwards into the area. That's going to lead to higher chances of showers and thunderstorms over portions of the islands. And the combined effects of developing upper-level disturbances forming over Florida and an approaching tropical wave will introduce a wet and unsettled weather pattern by midweek. High pressure will gradually rebuild by the weekend, though, ushering a drier weather pattern by then. We've got another heat advisory in effect. That's for the entire country. Everyone's being advised to limit outdoor activities and stay hydrated. And due to the very high UV indices, everyone's being advised to reduce outdoor exposure and wear sunscreen. There is a marginal risk of localized flooding during heavy and prolonged rainfall events as well. So for today, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, we're looking at partly to mostly sunny and hot conditions, cloudy intervals, but humid, becoming partly cloudy and warm tonight. For the northern islands, the extreme northern Bahamas, you got a 40 to 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms by this afternoon. But for the rest of the country, for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, about 10 to 20% chance of rain. Increasing by the Bahamas, we're looking at mostly sunny, hot, and breezy conditions, becoming partly cloudy and warm tonight. And for the southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy, hot, and breezy during the day and early afternoon, with a mix of sun and clouds for the remainder of the day. Expect fair and warm conditions tonight. Temperature-wise, today we're looking at highs getting up into the 90s, around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. The heat index, though, will make it feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit or more, 40 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
wake up, it's a new day.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
Looking for great device deals and offers this summer? Look no further! Alive has special discounts on the latest smartphones, Ring devices, and accessories. Plus, as an Alive customer, you can expect exclusive Get Extra offers and rewards, which means even more value for your money. We're talking more data, prizes, and surprises. Upgrade with us and experience the perfect summer with Alive in store or at bealive.com/deals.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from around the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326-EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Wishing for some extra cash this summer? Enter Esso's Summer Wins promotion. Esso is giving you the chance to win 3 incredible cash prizes: $2,000, $2,500, and the grandest prize of them all, $5,000. To enter, simply fuel up with $25 or more, write your contact information on the back of your receipt, and you'll be eligible to win. 10 lucky customers will also have a chance to participate in convenience store sweepstakes. Promotion ends September 29th, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. Like and follow Sol Petroleum on Facebook for more details.
It's a Scotia Plan Loan Summer. With Scotiabank, you can chase your summer vacation, swing into your home renovation, and slide on back to school with ease. Apply for your Scotia Plan loan and benefit from competitive rates, flexible loan terms, and no payments for up to 2 months. Tick off your to-do list this summer and apply for a Scotia Plan loan today.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612 9, or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, DeAndre Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning on the show, we're going to be talking about the National Training Agency. They've got a lot going on. We'll find out more about them in our 8 o'clock hour, heading into business in our 9 o'clock hour. So that is all ahead. But right now, let's talk about what else is in the news. And in the news, some good news coming out of sports. Tim Munnings got a gold medal. Hey, might not have been the ones we kind of wanted, but hey, this is fantastic nonetheless. Tim Munnings winning at the Masters, the World Masters event, the World Masters Athletics Championships in Sweden, winning gold in the 400 meters in the 55 to 59 category. That's the age group, 55-59 category, winning gold. Beating out a couple of Italians who were also on the podium. But great stuff there. Former director of sports, and congratulations. That's wonderful stuff. And you can read all about that in today's Nassau Guardian. I just want to say this. We got a few schools in this week, some already from last week, and teachers, I believe, in the public school system are going back this week. And so there are more people on the road the past few days, and especially this morning. And clearly there's some people who are not used to driving before the sun is up. And the number of cars this morning who did not have on any headlights. This is crazy stuff. And you might be able to see where you're going, but we can't see you, drivers. You need to turn your headlights. Put the car in the auto setting. I had a car from 2007 that had that setting, so your car has it. Come on. If you can't figure out how to turn on your headlights, put it in the auto setting. But an easy thing to remember, if you don't see the sun, you need to turn on some form of lights. If you don't see the sun, that means that on a cloudy day as well. It's harder for people to see you, and especially how Bahamians love to have these dark tints. They can't see you in their rearview mirror. They cannot. And if you're in a dark car, driving behind, before sunup, without any headlights, you pretty much don't want to be alive. That's all I can say. Doesn't matter if you can see, we can't see you. So the headlights help you to see, but they also help us to see you. Please, for the sake of God, if you don't see the sun in the sky, whether that's because it's dark or clouds, turn on your headlights. It's a PSA from me to you. All right. Big headlines in the papers. Oh, boy, this is some wild stuff going on. So one paper is being very bold about it and telling you that it's all related, but the other one, ours, the Guardian, not making any assumptions, despite all the shocking screenshots and photos that are going around over the weekend. But we'll know today what's what. But here are the two separate stories in the Nassau Guardian. 3 to be charged today in relation to recent murder. 3 men will be charged in court today in relation to the murder of Philip Adderley, who was discovered stabbed and bound by the hands and feet in southwest New Providence on August 15th. At the time of the discovery, police reported that Adderley was found submerged in waters near Stewart's Cove. Police also said yesterday they are aware of graphic videos and text messages that provide a detailed account of the events leading up to this homicide and have launched an investigation to determine its origin. The videos and text messages circulated on the weekend. Right? That's one story. But there is another story on the front page. Bannister terminated from Clifton Heritage. The Office of the Prime Minister announced yesterday that Mario Bannister, Managing Director of Clifton Heritage National Park, has been terminated from his position. OPM provided no explanation for and plays Bannister. According to his LinkedIn profile, Bannister has previously held other prominent positions as well, including Director of Bahamas Development Bank and Director of the Housing Commission. He's also Justice of the Peace. Clifton Heritage National Park is an historical site managed by the Clifton Heritage Authority. It's located in western New Providence and offers various tours and opportunities for bird watching and snorkeling, etc. You all know about it, but that's all we're going to say. But we'll see what happens in court. I'm sure you will get the latest here on the Guardian News Network. What y'all into in this place, though? What's going on around here? Seriously. 323-6232. I don't know if I should even open the phone. Should we do it? People will. Anyway, 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Not like, what's really happening? Everybody, am I in The Godfather? Is that what's going on? Am I not aware that I'm because everybody's very, boy, just like a cat. I'm just like one of the extras. I hope. although the extras get done in too. It's very unsettling. But again, we'll see. We'll see what the court says today. Wow. Okay, so we've got some text messages, and you can text us again, 422-4796. We're going to get to the banking stuff in just a bit. This person says here, it's very bold to assume the headlights are working, Dwight. Wow, okay, well, yeah, you're right, because I don't even know if they passed an inspection. You are correct. But, so how come I'm the only one seeing it, though? I mean, the police never see this? Never see that these people don't have it? That's just what, I mean, what is it? Yeah, you're right. You think Japanese cars come with auto turn-on headlights? You're very bougie. These things trickle down. That was technology from the beginning of the century. I mean, it's in any event. Turn it on yourself. Turn it on yourself. It's dark. You don't see the sun. People can barely see you. People asking if certain people are related. I have no idea. Dwight, some idiots say they don't know their lights are off. Really? Once a dashboard on your car is dark, your car headlights aren't on. It means your outside lights are off. No, you can't assume that, though. These days, a lot of the dashboards have all kinds of lights, and you don't know if yours is on or not, necessarily. Right? Not necessarily. You can't use that. But I get your point. For many older cars, if it's dark inside, yeah, the headlights are off. Mm-hmm. Do you think this was a crime of passion? The whole thing is wild and scary. No. I mean, this is a hit. This is a hit. If you're bound by the legs and by the feet and hands, it's not a crime. No type of passion. No. I mean, maybe. I mean, you're trying to say the person who ordered it without a... You say the number's too fast for my slow ears. I'm so sorry. Let's do this again. You want to call in? 323-6232. Or 325-4316. Save these in your phones. Or 325-4259. Oh my gosh. These text messages. I can't even continue. Wow. Okay, toll free 242-300-5720. And you can text us 422-4796. Let's be careful with this, though. Let's try not to. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
I'm just trying to understand what's going on in our country.
Yeah, boy, man, it's very depressing. I saw it last night. I told my friend to leave that. I can't deal with that. But the law has to proceed, and those who are involved, even those who have participated indirectly, should be executed by law.
Oh boy.
We have to be serious in this country. Even if we got to use lethal injection, the Prime Minister has to make a bold decision and move forward with executions. We cannot allow this barbaric assassinating people. I mean, when I saw it, it was really, really depressing. Even if that individual was involved with something else, you don't do a human being like that. So my thing is, the Prime Minister now has to look into the matter, and we have to move forward with execution, lethal injection, if anything, like that, moving away from hanging. And those who involved all should be executed by the law, because everybody participated in that young man's death. And I'm very blunt with it. We have to get serious now, right? This ain't no time for politics. We need to do what we have to do. That's all I can say. And if I had anything to do with it, they'll be brought to justice and they'll be executed. Simple as that. I appreciate it and pray for this country. Pray for this country.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Wow. This texter says, Dwight, why did that story talk about bird watching and not much else? No, calm down. Hold on now, no, right? So we are making lots of assumptions that things are related, but we know what we saw over the weekend if you saw those messages. So, but you cannot say or link these before they are linked, right? Officially. So that's why. But the text goes on and says, why are we, I don't get the cloak and dagger, because things haven't gone to court yet. After today, it'll be a different story. If that's what happens today, will it? We will see. But we are being told that the 3 will be charged in connection with this brutal murder today. That's why. So everybody calm down. Things have to be done the right way. Right? Yeah. So that's why. But after today, we will see. This person says, I have no confidence that I will be safe in this crime-ridden place. We have sick individuals performing executions. From WhatsApp. Well, I don't think it's random. I'm not excusing anything. I don't think they decide, you know what, today? But yeah, a lot of people get involved in some shady activities. And, yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your guest.
Hi, good morning.
Dwight, Dwight, look at Dwight. So I hear you said just now, right? We have to wait until what you call it, right? And I agree with that. But I just have this question, right? I don't know if I don't rob my fast one, but the gentleman who was relieved of his duties, right? Mm-hmm. Would he be? Is he one of the person? Do you know?
We don't know.
We have to know that after.
We will see. We will see.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, but Dwight, Dwight, what I see going on in this country, Dwight, is the boldness of criminals is beyond believable because they know there's no penalty, Dwight. There's no consequences, and then when criminals could see people and authorities being alleged, right, of being involved in criminals, Dwight, what is going on in this country? Who is in charge of this country, right? Because at the end of the day, if we had really and truly, if we had people who in leadership position who really cared about what's happening in our country, right? We would have already then, put the best, the worst of the worst in documentation, right, so that we could know who. Because that murder, that has to be amongst one of the worst I've ever heard or seen in this country, Dwight. It has to be among one of the worst of the worst. And the worst thing about this is that our leaders still haven't defined yet to our colonial masters what is the worst of the worst so that they could grant us position to cause people in this country to start to think before they act, right? Because once there's no consequences, Dwight, this is the beginning of the worst for this country, Dwight. This is our beginning of the worst, man, because there's nothing in sight to stop anybody, and it doesn't matter your age. There's nothing in place to stop people to say, no, but I ain't gonna do that, because hey, if I do that thing, there's nothing, because the courts then prove to us that they are in Mars. They then prove that many times that they're not on this island because some of the things what already took place prior to this, person still on the street walking, right?
Yeah.
You have a nice day.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Well, we talked about this on Friday, right? Alleged hitmen getting their wishes for their incarceration at least considered, and time deducted for the time they were on remand, or sentences to run concurrently. We love this, again, without real explanation as to why we are proceeding in that manner as opposed to consecutive sentences. What's the reason? Why does it seem like we're bending over backwards to accommodate these folks as opposed to the victims? And all of this sends a message that, you might serve some time, but it won't be a long time. And it's just very perplexing. And people sending messages about people who've been accused of other things before and are still in positions to be able to do the things again. I'm editing a lot. But it's just, we do send the message, whether we want to admit it or not, that we're not entirely serious about crime, especially for certain people. DeAndre Cartwright, welcome. Good morning. Good to have you with us.
Good morning, Dwight. Strachan, happy to be here. This really is a hot topic this morning, and honestly, it's nothing new. It's really nothing new. Mm-hmm. We've been seeing the fluctuation, the repeats of these instances where the law seemingly accommodates person's repetitive bad behavior. But then again, are we actually looking at legal reform in the way that we need to be looking at it, right? And not just looking at it, but actioning that change that needs to occur. Furthermore, are we looking at how we rehabilitate those who have committed crimes? Are we even trying to explore whether there is hope for rehabilitation and what would be the alternatives, right? I'm not sure if that's happening. And honestly, I'm hearing like this is one of the worst things in a long... Man, listen, I grow up hearing...
Truly, it's not the worst.
I've grown up hearing folks saying they could hearing allegedly, that folks catch a plane, what they got to do, and then leave. This has been going on for a bit. Yeah. Now, the only thing is that we're hearing about it more because social media allows us to really see more, hear more what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the things go over the weekend? All the screenshots and pictures and nonsense and stupidness?
I am in multiple WhatsApp groups and they keep going off, like honestly.
Yeah, I didn't need to see that on Sunday, but I did. And wow, boy.
You know, people, I honestly feel I've had a theory for quite some time. If it's negativity, if it's sensational, we're going to share it. If it's positive stuff,
never.
It's not going to get the same frequency of sharing.
It won't get shared at all.
It's crazy. And this is one of the studies I really want to do. I want to see if I could statistically analyze it, but I find it difficult to figure out like how could I do that inside a wide enough sample. But the very fact that we share this stuff like rapid fire, but we don't share the positive stuff.
But here's the thing. I mean, it doesn't take, pardon the puns, because Scotland Yard to determine how this stuff is getting leaked out there, right? So again, the police think we're silly, and they're saying they are aware of the graphic videos and text messages that provide a detailed account of the events leading up to this homicide, and have launched an investigation to determine its origin. I mean, I'm 90-something% sure that it's someone who's a part of the investigation or somebody in the police force. I mean, because who else would? The people involved?
The thing is, Dwight, all of these details that get out to the public or whatnot, it's been happening for years.
Yeah. And the same way.
Right?
It's always investigators or the first at the scene, the responders.
They share them inside the groups.
They're the first people to get there, and then the first one to send it out within minutes.
And the groups, then persons in the groups then share it out to individuals and even broader groups. I believe it was a couple years ago. I want to say 2 or 3. I can't remember, but there was like can I say command? I don't know. The seniors at the police force had to call to the red carpet the folks who do the investigations, right? And they're like, look, don't share the photos and videos. And then for a time, it seemed to have calmed down. And now it seems to have been ramping up again. But if they're the ones sharing it, and then honestly, again, because, some people think that Dwight and I, we make specific, this is a very generalized comment. We don't mean every police officer does it. But it got to be somebody with access. Mm-hmm. It got to be somebody with access. We got to be more responsible with what we share. And then honestly, if we're sharing certain types of information, I mean, you're compromising your own investigation.
Yeah. And then don't pretend like we'll ever find out the results of this investigation. If there is indeed going to be one, you're certainly not going to tell us or reprimand anybody so that we know that you were cracking down on this stuff happening within the force. But yes, investigation is the equivalent of good morning in the police force. They just say it any time of the day to anyone who walks by. Investigation.
Well, that part, because there's, anyway, something else another investigation that seems to have stopped. But, we'll talk about other things.
Yes. Let's take this call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning to you, guests.
Morning.
It's total corruption. We are running, whether you like to face it or not, like one of your callers said earlier, we are running basically a failed state, a corrupt state. However, you want to twist the words around, Dwight. That is what is happening here. We need to take the bull by the horns. Criminals getting away with stuff like one of your other callers said, because there are no consequences. When you have, and I always say, the GNN always say, when a criminal is caught, then he is determined to be a criminal based on what you catch him doing. But when he goes to court, he don't put himself in court. He don't give himself bail. He don't give himself time. Who does all of that? Between the attorneys, magistrates, and the judges. So when a fellow have 14 guns and 700 ammunition, and he get 2 years, who you think responsible for that? We are running a corrupt and a failed state. Besides, the three top men in this country, that's how they make their money. So you expect them to go in there and make no laws. So when they demit office, then they got to go face them same laws when they put. Oh no, man! Thanks for taking my call, Dwight.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, let's get to the rest of your text messages on this. This person says here, this is in response to a previous caller, lethal injections. How about beheadings, Henry VIII style?
I
don't know if they're being sarcastic or if they're being serious. I really can't tell.
We can't tell these days.
No, you can't. You need to put an LOL if you're not being serious. That's the only way we can tell. This person says here, the country's corrupt and our institutions are rotten. As a result, we may need a benevolent dictator, stop it, to sort this out.
Hold on now.
No. We can do this if we are all most of us commit to ending this type of behavior. We can do this. But anyway, they're going to say the PC set 2 limiting factors. The PC. We can define the Privy Council. Okay, we can define worst of the worst, but it's impossible to say who can or cannot be rehabilitated. That is our dilemma. Okay. The texter says here, I'm confused. Don't the police charge someone with a crime before they appear in court? The police act for the state and bring the charges to the court for a trial date. Isn't that the case? By the time you enter the court doors, you've already been charged. Yeah. Isn't that the case? By the time you enter being charged with a crime is public information. Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. That's supposed to happen today. Wow. What's the difficulty? That's supposed to happen today. A lot could happen before, but that is what the police are telling us. They're going to bring 3 people to court today to charge them in connection with that murder. So, but they have not said who. And everyone's making lots of assumptions. But we will see. We will see. Good morning. They should be sent to jail just for being stupid. Send me the videos and pictures as proof. They'll be out next on special bail. Well. This person says, you guys talk about the negative more than the positive, so you promote the negative more, and we will rebuke you in the name of all that is just and holy. We have sections in this show and that we talk about in the news. And in the news, unfortunately, is a lot of negative stuff. But the rest of the show, I don't know if you will listen or text in to hear all the wonderful things happening in the country. But that's just how it is, I guess. And you all are going to be paying more attention to the negative than the positive. And we'll say that we are the ones, but okay, that's fine. True listeners, they know better. I hope they do. They know better.
They do. Yeah. I mean, we have it sectioned off. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're going to have...
Maybe we should end with the negative instead of beginning with it.
No, I mean, but it's
Whatever,
reality
you
of
do.
what's
That's just-
happening
it
around.
is,
It's being
it is,
reported.
you know.
It's our duty, to share with you what's making the news.
Yeah.
And if what's making the news happens to be corruption, violence, or whatnot, that's what we're going to talk to you about. But then, because we know that can also be heavy, we try to, expand, go from there. Come on, man. Showcase what's going on in business. Talk about events going on throughout the country. Talk about what's going on in the rest of the country that may not have such a high crime rate as the capital. Just saying.
You all like to do that, Family Island people. But again, it's what percentage of the population of the bomb is this? It's like the true minority. So whatever. Majority rules. We got a holiday named for it. Majority here, killing, murder, corruption. Here, the majority of the country is involved in killing, murder, corruption. You can make that point. You could make the point, but no.
I ain't got nothing to do with you today. I ain't got because I know there's a particular caller who could call and then we could get into it. I don't want that this morning.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to start.
But the thing about it
I
is,
agree with you.
though-
I'll have to start moving. I will have to move to Family Island because if I don't want to be, don't want to be associated with this type of stuff. With those people at Nassau, oh my gosh, right? You got to get out of here.
Yeah, well, that is a viable option. I will also say that, and this is something that, again, no formal statistics, but usually on certain family islands, when you have an influx of persons from the capital island, say working on a project of some kind or whatnot, it seems like petty theft, etc., actually increases. Did you know? Like it's very strange, and it of course it's happened on my home island.
Lock your doors,
right?
Nassau people in town.
No, but that's the thing. That's what they say. And then the thing is that you see different things happening. Like I think what was it? A particular project was going on allegedly, and then there were a few strings of robberies, and I'm like, what in the world is going on this sleepy? It's the people, guys. It's the people. No matter where you are, crime is going to happen, unfortunately. If the people are wired that way, if the people want to do it, we need to do some more exploration.
I just want you to see that text. Don't read it, but this is that's great. I hope this thing is not. That camera can't see that, right? No. You see that? Like, wow.
Oh my
goodness gracious.
Powerful.
Wow.
Powerful.
This is a lot. I can't read.
People percolating. This is great.
Oh man. That's a lot. Okay, I can't read it. And this person here, Dwight, the scary question is, why do the people leaking the information feel the need to do so? The range of possible answers are all troubling. Well, I think they think they're doing something good. Had that not happened, would the events that happened later in the day happen? Would someone have tried to sweep it under the rug? Right, Deandra? Mm-hmm. Would somebody have said, okay, don't let people know, and then we could just bypass this and only charge a certain number of people as opposed to, right? So perhaps they think they're doing something good, and maybe they are. But it is laughable when the police say they're going to do an investigation, and we don't hear anything more about it. That's the part.
But the thing about it is, I think we talked about this a couple months ago, right? The transparency of the actions of the police force, as in, what are you doing? Let the public know, and so we can understand and appreciate your efforts, because for sure you're working. So help us understand better, so that persons don't create these scenarios or whatnot. Just share it a bit more, and then ways that people have access to. People are not going to go and watch the news all the time. Just how these things go viral on WhatsApp, etc., like that. Then find different ways of reaching out to your people. Which reminds me, should I go on the website to see if the crime updates are happening in real time? Because I think the last time we tried that, it was like a 2 weeks belated or something.
Well, some get posted right away and some don't. So it's not everything. It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's very strange. This person says here, okay, I'm not going to name this specific case, but they're saying that there was a situation years ago with leaks, and we're still waiting for the conclusion of those leaked photos. Yeah, well, you'll be waiting for a long time.
I wonder if that's the same instance that I was remembering, because I believe that there was a particular crime. The victim's family was raising. They're drawing attention. They wanted people to know that this is wrong. Right, and I think I think that had initiated it. I feel like that happened a couple of years ago, because it usually was the outcry from the victim's family.
Yeah.
That's how they find out about what had happened, even before they knew. Their families told them. They were finding out over WhatsApp, Facebook, or whatnot.
Yeah. So this person says, let me get this straight. So when an accused barbarically executes someone, the callers want the state to barbarically execute the excused, or the accused, rather. And an eye for an eye will make everyone blind, Dwight. And I'm sure the state does everything above board, right? So not everybody, but that texter was saying that. I do think the text was being sarcastic. I'm not too sure. But there are a lot of people who do want that. Yeah. When Menace said we were corrupt, there was an outcry. I think they were upset about the numbers that he gave. And they didn't know where he got that information from. It made it sound like everybody, which might be close to right. I don't know. It's a lot of people. Menace said another one. Menace said the country is corrupt and everybody got mad. Now the people's eyes are opening and saying what he said. Okay, 2 back-to-back Menace text messages. Okay. Concerning laws in this country, it's who knows who. That's why there is so many corrupt people in our country, I think they're saying. Mm-hmm. The police and the police can find who released the photos of crime scenes easily. If someone was to release a voice note threatening the prime minister or a judge, they would find where that voice note originated from. Why not do the same for the photos being released? Yeah, well, they always say that they will, but we never hear, as we said. It's going to take the good men and women of the police force to walk off their jobs in protest of the bail system. It's going to take what? Oh, okay. I don't know about that. The scary question is, why do the people link? Oh, yeah, we read that. Mm-hmm. That is a scary thing. If they are releasing the information to force authorities to take action, to essentially do their jobs, this is still deeply disturbing. Yeah. Well, they don't have confidence that it seems that things will be done, and I cannot blame them. But it's very unfortunate that we're seeing things that many of us don't need to see in terms of how gruesome they are, but they're trying to force somebody to do their job. We'll take this call before we take a break. Good morning, caller, you're on the air.
Hi. Morning.
Good morning.
Dwight, I was just listening to your show, and the focus seemed to be on the criminal element, but we're also ignoring a significant part of that criminal element. If you drive down Prince Charles on any day or on any Sunday and look at the amount of young men who are doing wheelies on their motorcycles and these other all-terrain vehicles, and they drive from one end of the island to the other end, and they go down on Bay Street, and it seems as though they, and it's something that happens every day, all day. When school is out, the girls are walking and they performing for the girls. And what are they doing to prevent this sort of activity from happening? There's some positive things happening in our country. I noticed that the highways are clean. Some of the roundabouts are looking really nice. But the reality of it is, these are young men who are engaged in activities that are, well, to them, this is the way how they promote their lifestyle. But to the rest of us, we have to cope and look at what is going on, and it gives the appearance that the police is, if we can see it, I'm sure the police can see it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And we all have seen that before, right? You've seen people doing the wheelies, as he put it, the popping of the bike, riding right past a police car, and it's whatever, no helmet.
I'm saying
whatever.
Listen, it's so dangerous. But what do we do?
Well, I know what the police do.
Anything?
Boy. This texter says here, good morning, Morning Blend. We are indeed extras in a mafia movie, a real Godfather film.
Oh, gee.
A lot of things are now revealed on social media now, which in the past they were covered up and whispered about. Yes, it's now being revealed by social media. I would love to live on a family island if the Bahamas was a real federal system of government with real economic opportunity. Well, this person says this is not the worst of the worst. It's one of the many, many worse. I remember a young girl lured by her ex-boyfriend to a meeting, then raped by the boyfriend and accomplice, run over by their car, killed, burned, and then dumped. Also recall the case of the spurned taxi driver who hacked his cheating significant other to death. Yep. Recall the young man who mowed down, then ran over his girlfriend who was holding their baby. Others likely recall other similar gruesome crimes. Yeah, yep. Many horrible, horrible things. Pop styling on bikes. I don't know what that means. What is that?
You know what popping is?
I mean, I just said it, but what is it? You mean what is the styling
pop
part?
Pop tricking.
Oh, okay, whatever.
You popping and tricking at the same time.
Boy, that's another part of the problem. Everybody around here speaks like a gangster. I don't understand.
So why are you saying I speak? I know how to gangster speak. That's what you're trying to say.
They say all this stuff and you expect you to know what they mean.
Well, that is why I say I know how to gangster stuff to speak.
I don't understand. The whole place just wants to be the Wire. I don't know. This is scary. Yeah, I said it was. Let's take this call and then we're going to go to the break. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
I'm listening to the gentleman just now. He was talking about illegal activities. But when was it made illegal to pop your bike? It's not illegal.
Okay.
It's dangerous. It's very dangerous, but it's not illegal.
Sure, it's not illegal. But again, most of those folks won't be wearing helmets. They are unlicensed. They are usually unlicensed and unregistered on everything bikes.
Exactly.
So all of
these
these
things. A lot of them are police officers also because that's what they do.
What
for
now?
pastime.
Oh boy.
Hello?
Yeah, that's what they do for a lot of them are police officers who owns those.
Not those little boys I see riding them. I don't know.
But for the most part, that is just something they do for pastime. Those if you notice on Sundays, they don't be popping all over the place. They just have a big group of them that just ride around the island.
No, they do everything.
Other days,
everything happens
one
on
or
Sunday.
two persons here and there that would be popping their bikes through traffic here and there. But for the most part, they are decent, hardworking young men. They're not into no illegal activities.
Oh, okay.
So it's not illegal what they're doing. It's very dangerous to them and other motorists, but, it's not illegal. So I guess that's why when they ride past the officers, unless it's one of those police who want to stop them for having their bike unlicensed, it's not illegal to pop your bike in this country that I know of.
Okay. All right, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I hear you. When they pop and run into your car and do tons of damage and have no ways of paying you back for it, then anyway. But the dirt bikes, take them on the dirt and go and do your poppy stuff.
Oh,
do that. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Don't throw your life away, boy. Crime doesn't pay. If being bad was good, boy, then why they lock away? Don't mind what your friends say, boy. Crime doesn't pay. No! Woo! Boy, you do the crime, you can do that time now. Don't worry about that. You can't be doing wrong, man.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. In real-time traffic, we're definitely seeing more traffic on the streets at this hour as a number of people are returning to the classroom this week, either teachers or some other schools opening. So we're seeing heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway, well south of the Fire Trail roundabout, even south of Bellet Road, straight through Fire Trail, and on the way to Tony Williams-Darling Highway. Very slow-moving traffic for you this morning. In the northbound lanes, traffic backed up along Fire Trail both directions as well. Looking busy for you eastbound toward Blue Hill Road, and Blue Hill is seeing slow-moving traffic from well south of Carmichael straight through to the junction with Soldier Road and on to Independence Drive if you're heading northbound. We're back to that regular pattern already, it seems, folks. We've got some slow-moving traffic on Robinson Road as well between Soldier and especially west of Old Trail onto the intersection with Marathon and East-West Highway, and pockets along Prince Charles Drive at the major intersections. So those are your hot spots right now. We've got some building traffic on Carmichael as well, westbound towards Coral Harbor Road. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. And it's time for another check of your weather for today. We've got high pressure that will produce a typical summertime weather pattern today, with occasional pulses of moisture and weak troughing giving rise to slightly elevated chances of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. By tomorrow, we've got an upper-level trough that's going to dig southwards into the area, leading to higher chances of showers and thunderstorms over portions of the country. The combined effects of the developing upper-level disturbance forming over Florida and an approaching tropical wave will introduce a wet and unsettled weather pattern throughout the country by midweek, but we expect drier conditions by the weekend. Heat advisories in effect for the entire country, and due to very high UV indices, everybody's expected to, advised to limit outdoor activities and to stay hydrated and wear sunscreen. There's also marginal risk of localized flooding during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. So for today, your forecast for the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny and hot. Few showers possible, especially in the northern islands. For the central and southeast Bahamas, mostly sunny and hot with breezy conditions, becoming partly cloudy and warm tonight. Temperatures today, highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 103 Fahrenheit or higher, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. In your extended outlook, we're looking at, for Tuesday and Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds, hot conditions, mostly cloudy over the northwest and central Bahamas for Tuesday, partly sunny to sunny and hot over the northern islands Wednesday, turning partly cloudy to cloudy and very warm across the northwest, central, and southeast Bahamas. The tropics are quiet, tropical cyclone formation unexpected during the next 7 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after the news here on Guardian Radio.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Craving something delicious and freshly made? Dunkin' has got you covered all day your way. From savory sausage, egg and cheese to crispy bacon, ham, and even tuna, our sandwiches are made to order just for you. Choose your favorite. Bagels, croissant, toast, or muffin. Whatever you want, we've got it. Whether it's a classic grilled cheese or a hearty club, your perfect sandwich is just a bite away. Dunkin's fresh, made-to-order sandwiches made all day your way. Only at Dunkin'. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:20, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Here's what's going on. We've got high pressure that's going to produce typical summertime weather patterns for today. We have occasional bouts of moisture and weak troughing, giving rise to slightly elevated chances of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Beginning tomorrow, we've got an upper-level trough that's going to dig southwards into the area, leading to higher chances of showers and thunderstorms over portions of the country. The combined effects of the developing upper-level disturbance forming over Florida and an approaching tropical wave will bring an unsettled and wet weather pattern, and that will continue midweek through to the weekend, when we will see a gradually drier weather pattern emerge. But for today, we've got a heat advisory, another one for the entire country, and due to very high UV indices, everyone's being advised to limit outdoor activities and stay hydrated and wear sunscreen and protective clothing. There's also a marginal risk of localized flooding during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. Your forecast for today for the northern Bahamas: partly sunny, cloudy intervals, hot and humid, becoming partly cloudy and warm tonight. About a 40 to 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas, mostly sunny and hot today, becoming mostly fair with a few cloudy intervals and warm tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny, hot and breezy during the day, with a mix of sun and clouds by this afternoon. Fair and warm conditions tonight. Temperature-wise today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. The heat index, though, during the day will make it feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. In your extended outlook Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds and hot, with mostly cloudy conditions over the northwest and central Bahamas, about a 30 to 50% chance of rain. For the northern islands, for Wednesday, partly sunny to sunny and hot over the northern islands, turning partly cloudy to cloudy and very warm for the northwest and central islands, southeast Bahamas as well, the entire country basically. And then Thursday, partly cloudy and hot, becoming cloudy to occasionally overcast and warm for the rest of the country. A quiet tropical cyclone formation unexpected during the next 7 days. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in store today. And time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. In your real-time traffic, again, Mile Butler Highway, very heavy traffic. It is getting worse, folks. We're well down past Alexandria Road and Hamster Road, straight through Bellwood Road, all the way through the Fire Trail Roundabout and up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Slow-moving, heavy traffic northbound this morning. And delays along Fire Trail as well, eastbound at this time. Your alternate routes, Glass Road not looking so bad. Just as you get closer to Munnings Road, you'll see traffic in front of you there. And over on Blue Hill Road is busy for you, especially near Carmichael. There's a long line of traffic eastbound on Carmichael. Slow-moving traffic there. And Blue Hill's busy from there straight through to Independence Drive if you're heading northbound. East Street also busy for you between Soldier Road and the East-West Highway Independence Drive roundabout, northbound mainly. Soldier Road seeing issues near Windsor Place and Old Trail, some slow-moving traffic there. Robinson Road is going to be another hot spot for you. Robinson, especially near Old Trail, westbound, and near Marathon and East-West Highway, the intersection there. And that whole intersection, Soldier, Robinson, and Prince Charles Drive, especially if you're heading westbound on Prince Charles into Robinson Road, slow-moving traffic for you there. Fox Hill Road is busy and slow-moving northbound to the intersection with Prince Charles Drive. That intersection looking busy multiple directions at this hour. Those are your hot spots right now. That's your real-time traffic brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
Of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Mommy, why can't dogs talk? Why do I have to go to school and you don't? Why do you sing in the morning when you're bad at it? Why don't you brush your teeth when you take me to school? Why doesn't it ever snow here? Why does Daddy take the bus to work? Why are trees so tall? Why don't you tell me where babies come from? Mommy, Mommy, Mommy!
We're like a kid that doesn't ask a million questions before noon. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use.
Mm-hmm.
So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
RBC. RBC will find the right loan for all of you with competitive rates and extended terms to suit you. Whether it's for debt consolidation, your next vehicle, or home purchase, sometimes we all need a little more. No matter the reason for the loan, we're here to help you find the solution. RBC. RBC has all the loans for all of you. Let's start with a conversation today.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. You do the crime, you must do the time. so. Oh yeah. Let's go. Crime doesn't pay, boy. Crime doesn't pay. Don't throw your life away, boy. Crime doesn't pay. If being bad was good, boy, then why they lock away? Don't mind what your friends say, boy. Crime doesn't pay. Listen, prison only look good from the outside, but when you behind bars, boy, now that's a different vibe. The first thing you regret, boy, is the last thing that you do. Then you have to worry about somebody tickling you. Come on, crime doesn't pay, boy. Crime doesn't pay. Don't throw your life away, boy. Crime doesn't pay. If being bad was good, boy, then why they lock away?
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are Dwight Strachan along with DeAndre Cartwright. In a few minutes, we're going to get into more on banking. So the FNM is saying more, the central bank saying some more as well on banking and fees. But we continue our discussion about crime and what's expected to happen today with individuals being charged in relation to a very graphic, gruesome assassination, essentially.
Allegedly.
Well, I mean, he was assassinated, tied up and bound and dumped in the water. That is not an accident there. You can't claim manslaughter for that one. Boy. So this texture here says, none of us will show the police or government that we want better. So can we stop pretending to be shocked that the numbers and brutality of these crimes is escalating? You don't want to protest. You don't want to rise up. You just everyday talk. Nothing will stop the daily excuses made rather than rising up and demanding better. And the police and the government know this. I can keep asking the Governor General to do something so we can confirm nobody in the government cares, bro. Well, I think that's part of the problem there. You can't be asking the Governor General to do something. That's not going to get you anywhere. What does that do?
We got to talk
right,
first.
That is not the way to go there. But I hear you, and it is frustrating. Most people will just want to make enough so they can go into their homes and lock the doors and put the bars up or whatever. They'll put the alarm on and lock themselves into a cave until the evil spirits leave the darkness, and then in the morning they'll come out and think they're safe. I don't know, but that's how it seems. This person says here, great show. Like your callers say, these dirt bikes can become very annoying. I have an infant and a very old mother, and every second a loud bike passes and startles my baby and mom. I wonder sometimes if Engliston is in the middle of a racetrack. Well, it's not only there. The whole island
Maybe.
Is in some sort of video. The most serious crimes are being committed by people in Nissan Notes and marches.
Can we prove that? Like, on behalf of the Little Car Association.
The fact that people are saying, anyway, because many are like, I think there's something to it. But, no, we can't prove it. Not easily, but...
I mean, if we had proper statistics, we probably could. Like, which vehicles were registered and involved in crime.
If you see one behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Be concerned. Corruption is the order of the day in this country. Until we become more educated, country will continue to deteriorate. The country will continue to deteriorate. Okay.
I mean, we're becoming more educated. The problem is, we're not also talking about brain drain happening. Because you can become more educated, but what's going to happen if the majority of the population remains uneducated? And what happens if you are educated and then you leave the country for better opportunities?
Yeah, got a couple people texting this in response to a caller earlier who was saying that popping is illegal because it's driving without due care and attention. Quite a few people saying that. This person says here, ask the Ministry of Health to remove the dead dog off the sidewalk on Prince Charles Drive by Commonwealth Bank. Okay. Environmental health, public health, Ministry of Health, whomever it is, please deal with that. So this person says, Dwight, let's talk about women putting on makeup while driving. What now? And driving with a baby sitting in your lap and not strapped in a car seat. Police need to start booking these women that do this. Well, except for the makeup thing, I think there are a lot of men doing the babies in the lap and not strapped in as well. So everybody who does that should
or doing any
be
other
stopped,
thing.
right?
Just not strapped in.
Even in heaven, subjects had to be threatened with terror to get them to behave. So Judge Earth, Elohim, must sometimes retreat that he just didn't go in ample instead of creating heaven and earth. What now? What's happening? Governments should not be in the business of picking losers and or winners, but ensuring that everyone who wants to succeed in any legal endeavor will not be hampered or hindered with stupidness and unnecessary regulation. This is about the banking thing. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get back to your text here. Most of the serious crime in this country comes from the mastermind, and he ain't driving no March. Okay, look for the Beamer or Volvo, and the unexplained riches.
You have something against Volvo?
I mean, this texter, that's what he said. Volvo? I mean, maybe back in the day. I don't know.
No, man, some of them Volvos cost some serious money.
Yeah, but who's driving? Which mastermind, criminal mastermind is driving a Volvo?
I mean, would you suspect
That's
a Volvo?
True. That's true. I wouldn't.
Like didn't the texter just say that we're suspecting the cubes and the marches? So they might not go for something that's considered the geriatric vehicle.
Right. That guy in the Volvo station wagon is the criminal mastermind running everything in the bottom.
I mean, it can hold everything that your house has.
Got all the ARs in there. Eh?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight.
Hi.
I was forced to call back after that lady called.
Oh.
And said that they had the fellow on the motorcycle have the right to own a motorcycle.
Well, she said it's not illegal to pop. Well, we don't know.
Yeah, and the other point, the point with that is we also have the right to own a shotgun, but the use of that shotgun can only be used for hunting, and it has to be licensed every year. So the point is, look, yeah, we have the right to own a motorcycle, but that doesn't give them the right to be popping and having at night when they aim in the motorcycle at the stars and stuff like that. That's my only point, and I needed to correct her and make her aware that, although we have these privileges, it don't mean that we should abuse them.
Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And everybody's coming for her saying, yeah, you can't be popping around a place like this. It is... again, those are dirt bikes. Do them off the road, right? I know there's not much space.
Off the road where?
Right, not here. And you don't want to tear up a field with your foolishness. I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe you should move to Family Island and do your stuff there on Queens Highway or something, away from between the settlements. You got miles between settlements.
Yeah,
and
but
most
ain't nobody
islands.
there to see me do it.
Oh, record yourself. Get your other buddy to put you up on YouTube.
You assuming I got friends on the island. It's only me one.
You all moved down there. This person says, Dwight, popping is illegal. It's called operating a vehicle in a dangerous manner. Weaving in and out of traffic, riding on the sidewalk, and dashing through the red light all fall under this ordinance. If they were drug tested, oh boy, while intoxicated, could be added to this list too. Most would also have no insurance and, of course, no helmet and no license. There is a police station across from Junkanoo Beach. There is a pedestrian crosswalk about 20 feet in either direction, one at the light at Nassau Street and one by the light by the point. I do not understand how the police allow beach bums hanging out at the bar adjacent to the police station to impede the flow of traffic between the two lights by randomly herding tourists across the street into the direct line of flowing traffic, all in an effort to provide easy access to a bar. A bar! Bars in quotation marks, that's not just me. And caps. How is this happening? These workers, including taxi drivers on Bay Street, need to be double fined for encouraging tourists to jaywalk any and everywhere. Simply direct them to the nearest crosswalk. They're everywhere downtown. Well, the chaos on Bay Street with the jaywalking, it is out of control. Really, really bad.
I've overheard some taxi drivers, again, this is not everyone, tell tourists that we don't have laws here. Like legit.
They might be right. I don't know. Not for certain people.
Well, we'll see what happens today. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. We will see what happens today.
Oh, boy.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, pleasant day.
Same to you.
Monday.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I would like to add to the road traffic situation that parking on the sidewalks, and I would like to advocate for sidewalks on both sides of the road. And the dangerous driving of the motorcyclist is also, as it were, somebody you just read, is also something that can be addressed. Now, there are also decent people riding motorcycles. But the reason why I call is to salute the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the chairman of the PLP, for saying that leaders or supervisors are not bigger than the party or bigger than the government. And they should actually, in a sense, do the right. If they do the wrong, they will fall on the sword. So I would like to say, put in country before self or party, or think you're bigger than the minister or whatever the case may be. It will actually come back to bite persons who get who are power mighty. I don't want to say power hungry. So I'm happy that the warning is out there that everyone needs to be well, do well.
He says that, right? But will people listen to that? I mean, are they going to change? I mean, everyone's going to try to think they right, exactly.
Yeah, that's another story. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a concern, right? Because everyone thinks they can outsmart the system, and they won't get me. Yeah.
But not only that, sometimes the persons may operate in a manner that is detrimental to others. It's not just being selfish, but harming others because they think they're the owners of persons. Not everyone, but some people.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, let's read these messages and we'll get to the bank stuff. This person says here, all the PLP administration is talking about is protecting the PLP. They are less concerned about protecting the country. Well, I don't know if that's accurate, but well, boy. Speaking of laws, can the police charge women? Oh, dear Lord, this is the same texture with the women thing. What's up with you, Chief? Can the police charge women for walking barely naked in underwear and bras on Bay Street? 2 women passed a police officer this weekend bald naked, well, except for the bra. Okay. Let's start with indecent exposure. Well, I mean, if you think that's one of the big problems we have in the country, that as opposed to the hit-style, mob, mafia-style murders and drive-by shootings and all the people in bikinis
no, because
the big
people
problem.
in bikinis are bothering that person.
Oh, boy. Well, that's the problem. Okay.
They can't pay attention to the street with the people in the bikini.
Right. That's probably causing the guys to get the guns to kill the other people.
All because of a bikini.
Well, my lord. Let's move on. All right, so headlines more about the banking sector in the business section today. Central Bank working on reforms for banking fees. Travis Cartwright Carroll writing about it. The Central Bank of the Bahamas says it's working on a number of fronts to advance targeted reforms on fee-setting practices by banks. Now, the bank said in its semi-annual commercial bank fees analysis, August 2024 report, that the central bank is mindful that these interventions must be framed to preserve the soundness of deposit-taking institutions, which is fundamental to the stability and orderly functioning of the economy. Aside from interim measures under the remit of the Payment System Act that could take effect in the first half of 2025, broader reform proposals are also being explored. That would enable the government to legislate consumer protection and market conduct standards, also applicable to credit products, and which could give the offices of the Financial Services Ombudsman statutory independence. We're just exploring this stuff, though. I mean, shouldn't we be here already, have been there for a while, or are we just exploring? Anyway, where cost is a significant factor, the central bank continues to craft reform proposals that would achieve more universal access to the supply of financial services in the less populated parts of the Bahamas, including identifying where supportive changes are needed in infrastructure to improve access to both cash and digital payment services, and the role that agency banking could play in lowering supply-side hurdles. It's a lot of words there. The report also says that on affordability and access within the remit of the Payment Systems Act, the bank is developing financial inclusion regulations to mandate a basic deposit account product for consumers of low economic means, and that this would be exposed to public consultation and would also be accompanied by proposals to add more transparency to the fee-setting process for digital wallets. Okay. Sounds like that's going to be long. But that's happening there while the FNM is pressing forward with its case on banking reform. Rachel Scott writing about this today. Opposition leader Michael Pintard making his case for the commercial banking sector reform, doubling down on his pledge to ensure a more competitive environment that will protect consumers should the FNM win the next general election. All right, so this is what we were talking about last week, Friday. So Fred Mitchell, who's in the cabinet, has been talking about this for, it seems like years now,
Right.
but definitely a lot in the last few months, but we're not hearing so much from the government about what it's doing
Right.
to cut down on the fees or to limit the fees or to do anything other than Mitchell making these statements that something has to be done.
Right.
Why is that? And again, now the central bank is talking about exploring, but where is the action? I guess you do need to do the exploration
I was
before
going
you
to
act.
say, you're going to have that
Sure.
base analyses and whatnot. But didn't they say recently that other central banks, or the argument was that other central banks are paying attention to this, and so ours should do something similar? So perhaps
We've
that's
seen
why.
that all over the world. That's been happening.
So that's perhaps why ours is now trying to do this. And who knows, they probably were doing something like this before. But now to frame it within the debate, the discussion that's going on, perhaps is more pertinent. Now, thing is, right, with all of the different fees, I think we need to also, and the expectations of the government in that way, needs to be looked at in context of what Mr. Bowe was saying as well.
Bowe with the Clearing Banks Association.
Right. Because if we're looking to the government, or the government is saying now that they want to have more control over the fees that are being levied, in which way? And in keeping with which policy that other countries may have in place similarly, right? Because that is a very slippery slope. Now, not to say, please hear me out, I am not defending the costs of banking. I'm not defending the increase of rates of any kind. I'm just wondering out loud, in line with what Mr. Bowe has said, I don't want to say interference, but the involvement of government in fees that possibly are being applied or introduced by banks, to what extent does that go? Because we already see what's going on right now in the wider financial services sector with the increase of fees that are, again, mandated by government. So if we can put so much attention on what the clearing banks are doing, are we also putting that attention on the impact of the increase of taxes on the financial services sector by said government, and what that means in the short term and the long term? Because it's almost like this is a deflection from other parts of the financial services sector. Because, of course, the everyday individual, we all see these fees. We wonder about these fees. We are being impacted by these fees. So, yes, we feel it. It's hurting us. And we would love to have some help for that burden to be alleviated. But that's impacting us right now individually. What about what else is happening in the financial services sector, which is number 2 of our industries?
Is it still?
I mean, allegedly. I mean, until we see the numbers, it's just number one is tourism, two is finance, and then three is marine resources. Although, with climate change happening and there's the seasons needing to possibly be revisited, and then the catch is becoming smaller and the prices of fish going higher.
Assassinations up there? Is that a thing? Is that an industry in the country now?
Dwight, focus.
Right. Right. All right. We've got a lot of messages coming in. I guess it's in response to what we're saying. Yeah, the current administration's not doing it yet because it's tricky waters. It really is.
No, seriously. I think, again, we need to look at what's going on in other countries. It's very, I don't want to use the word dangerous, but when you have the government beginning to dictate to certain industries what those fees may look like, and again, they could possibly do so. Are we using that same brush across all industries? Are we opening the door for that brush to go be painted across all industries? Are we looking with the same critical eye at other industries that are in existence that have these sorts of fees that are being levied, not only to the public as a whole, but to the companies themselves? What is the cost of doing business inside this country? Are we looking at that? Because again, and this is something that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, we're discussing the clearing banks and their fees and whatnot like that. But look at the other banks that are in existence inside this country that may also be having challenges by increase of taxes that are going on. Let's look at the increase of taxes across the board. These are things that the government, actually, no matter the administration or the party that's in, the government as a whole. So this is not just particular to the PLP or whatnot, right? But when we're looking at the cost of real property tax going up and persons not being able to pay those taxes that would have just been introduced in the last few years over the span of decades or whatnot, not being able to keep up with those fees, having their property seized. I mean, are we looking across all industries, all activities that have some sort of income generating component to it and seeing what that short-term impact is and what that long-term impact is? Again, I still go back to this seems to be a deflection.
Yeah. All right. Calls we'll get to in a second. This texter says Michael Pintard is playing games with the use of the word "or" when it comes to increasing competition in banking. There are Bahamians or Bahamian groups on record, such as Dr. Jonathan Rogers, who have applied for banking license and have been denied by the central bank. The question that is never asked publicly is why? Okay, interesting. They've got a whole lot of messages. But this person says here, Gowan Bow is, oh my goodness, what? The banks have been slaughtering the people with fees and introduced, and they've been introduced with fewer services. Clearing banks are wicked, and taxes on financial services are just a way to recoup the money they put out. Financial services are wicked stuff. Oh my goodness. The financial services system is a mafia operating and destroying the people. Okay.
But our economy, I mean, sorry, I'm not sure if I agree with that. But again, what is our economy, what is it standing on? Tourism, financial services, marine resources. Those are our primary means of income for the entire economy. So, I mean, help me understand.
That's rough. It's rough.
Help me understand.
Modern day plantations, mafia businesses, and raping of the sea. Oh boy. This person says here, where was Fred Mitchell's outrage when it's declaration season and MPs don't declare? The only industry that the government regulates is the gas, the petroleum retailers thing they're saying, even though the government receives 75% more revenue per gallon than the retailers. How is that fair?
Well, that was the point that I was making, and I was hoping that somebody else other than me actually brought that up. If you look at the gas, literally the people selling you the gas are making less money because of the amount of taxes that are applied to that, right? And it's not just with gasoline. If you look at imports inside this country, how much money does the government actually make on that? How many times are we being double charged VAT on an item that we bring in? Dwight, we were just looking at that like a couple months ago. Yeah. I really need us to take a step back and be more critical of what's going on around us. Also, just as a plug, I know that we're talking about the clearing banks in all the countries because that's where the home bank is and whatnot, right? But do we actually invest inside our own credit unions here? That there are other banking options that may not be up to date, et cetera, in certain areas, right? But it stays
And
here.
they'll dispute that.
Huh?
They'll dispute that they're not up to date. They'll say they are as advanced as anyone else.
Okay. I hear you.
What was that?
I hear you.
Oh my
but
goodness.
I mean, there are other options as well. But do we even support? Like, this even goes back to us as a people. Do we even support our own? Like with the credit unions and whatnot, they've been around for years. If you look at their rates, come on now. But either way, if you have to rely on some other entity to not only hold your money, manage your money, why are we not looking at all of the different options that are available? They're all going to take your money, that is. So,
well, they have to do something to survive, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like even if you look, so if you look,
you
at
must
it,
expect at least a little bit of that.
no, the fees are going out. So you have like, take for instance, if you have your funds inside a particular bank, then they have your monthly fees, right? So if you're doing a withdrawal, that's also, you're allowed, depending on your bank, you either get a free withdrawal for a certain amount of money, so many times, I guess, per month, depending on your bank. It could be 1 or 2 free, 1 free, or whatever that is, right? But if you go into the bank, that's a whole different charge. Right. So if you literally look at all of the different charges, there's a charge for everything you do. Literally, the bank is charging you to hold your money. It's a service. They're providing you a service.
Some of the banks offer a free withdrawal. Yeah.
I believe so. It's like 1 or 2. I can't. Again, it depends. We have so many banks,
It certainly does not do that. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, John Johnson. Dwight and Deandra, you can also be aware that the reason why banks invite you to use credit cards and their debit cards for charges is they make a service fee from that also.
Listen, so how much percent interest again, Mr. Johnson?
No, I'm not talking from the interest. That's just from the interest. I'm talking about those 2.9%, 3%, 4%. They charge in transaction fees to those.
To the merchants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
So
why a lot of
it's a whole
small
lot of
businesses
things,
can't
right.
use card machines and whatnot. They literally can't pay for the service.
But so when Mr. Pintat speak about the banking reform, that we have to have a conversation of it, we need not to do any comparative analysis against any other industry, but just simply look at banking here in the Bahamas around the world. It's a when you look at the way the world is going now, the world is digitizing, that digitalization, datification of the global economy. That means we must keep pace. Like Dwight, you say, they'll argue that they're just as anything else. We're good at finding we're doing good as or better to use as an analysis of gauging where we are. But what they say for success is based on what you're capable of doing, not how well you did compared to how bad somebody else did. So, but when we look at fintech, the way it's revolutionizing the banking and financial service industry around the world, just take, for instance, one instance of that, tokenization today is a $50 billion economy. If you look at the top 10 insight companies such as McKinsey, BCG, and others, you will see that they estimate by 2030 real-world assets will be in the range, depends on which one you read, from 3 to $30 trillion. That's significant growth. That's literally 20% of the global economy will be moving to digitization, utilizing fintech. So what happens is that if we are to remain competitive, we have to also think about how we're doing it. What fintech does, it allows competition to enter the market, but it also allows, it sets a standard. So someone like Ciaran Johnson won't utilize or manipulate the system to maybe eliminate everybody else, and then I go up on my rates. And so, but it's a whole lot of things that we have. We have just simply taken for granted, even back and forth, but we have not kept up with the global standards from around the world. Just look at Canada for the very place these banks from. Look at Argentina and other places, and England and various places where they are doing what we are just arguing that we should not do. And it isn't like saying government is going to demand and set rates. What government does is sets a market, sets an environment, an ecosystem for equitable access and equitable protection of individuals within that particular marketplace by individuals who, by virtue of this non-opening of the banking industry for technology and otherwise, have what we call significant power, significant influence.
Yeah.
And so, but if we actually understand the opportunities that fintech bring and property tech, we talk about housing and other things, and being able to monitor and regulate banking and these various different industries to way beyond the extent that this DARE bill does, we can flip this economy and literally add $2, $3, $4, $5 billion a year. Because what happens is that even behemoths in the Bahamas can create non-banks around the world if proper regulations happen. And non-banks are something like Dwight, you could check. 20-something years ago, you had places like NetBank and others that had no location anywhere in the world with billions of dollars. So thank you so much.
Thanks so
what
much.
we're saying is let's just have a real conversation on where we are and where we need to be.
All right. Let's take these calls really quickly, and we've got a whole lot of text messages. We'll take this into the next hour as well, I think. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Good morning. No. Okay. Let's take the other here. Very impatient. Okay. Thanks a lot. This text here. Deandra sounds like she owns a bank. Please tell Deandra that governments in the past and present balance market dynamics, regulate unfair and excessive charges, and implement fairness for consumers. I guess if the consumers were Haitian, she wouldn't have a problem. What in God's name? Oh, boy.
I don't know how to
And I don't think
that.
you had said anything opposing this. In fact, you were saying that we do need to explore this and go. What did you? What
I did
this
actually say that
texter-
we are facing the burden of the fees. I'm just saying that we need all of the information. We need to look at it, and that it's not just happening with banking.
My gosh! Wow.
And how did nationality even get into that?
That's always.
Can you even access a bank if you don't have the appropriate document?
Commercial banks, is a texter, don't care about Bahamians. How can you charge Family Island businesses 7% credit card processing fees? They don't have branches in the Family Islands. They don't charge such high fees in their home country. Help us, please.
That is valid and that is fair.
This is a different person talking about women's clothing. Dwight, the way women dress to go out nowadays can be seen as indecent exposure. They be looking like ladies of the night, but I like looking. Oh dear.
I was just going to say, because why do you think some persons, they dress attention? So that means you probably are giving it to them in some cases, the attention that is.
Okay.
But a woman should be able to wear what she wants to wear within reason.
Within reason. I'm glad you
Within
added
reason.
that part there, because I mean, it could
Context, environment.
You think people can't drive now? Good Lord. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, Deandra.
Good morning.
Hey, Dwight, there's a commercial where it's come on TV on the foreign station with banks. When the lady went to the teller and say, I'd like to make a deposit. Okay, that'll be $15. I'd like to check online. Oh, that'll be $35. And then she say, what? And then he say, emotional old voice, that's a fee. And then like that, then to the end, she say, can I borrow you the pen? And then he say, yeah, there's a fee for that. Ching, ching, ching. That's how these banks getting there's a fee for that. If you have a police and a security, there's a fee for that. Or the part off the ATM from the bank, there's a fee for that. Or we have surveillance camera, there's a fee for that.
Well,
That's how
so
these
you see, the
get
banks
over.
will say, hey, it's not just here in the Bahamas then. It's all over. This is how
Yeah,
it is.
that's what it's all over the world.
The cost
So-
of doing business in the world today.
Yeah, and then that bank say, come to us, because our fee is in like that. We don't give you that much fees in it. Yeah, man, that's what they want to charge you for everything, man. You have to put your money in the bank, they want to charge you. Then they let out your money and make millions, man, anyhow. So they have to look at it, they have to do something this, man, because we getting real ruined.
Yeah, wow.
All right, then.
Oh boy! All right, we're gonna break for the news, and we're gonna pick this up in the other hour, and a whole lot of your text messages, and we have more on what we were talking about earlier as well, and it's gonna be interesting as we wait for our guest, which doesn't look good at this point. I don't know what's happening, but we will see.
Dear.
This is Morning Blend. Stay tuned for Morning Blend Business in just a bit.
I tell you, these behemoths doing Christmas time, junk a new time, you know what I'm saying? Woo! Check this out. Around Christmas time, these tourists will come to Nassau because they junk a new music, make them come back for more.
Shop early to get your uniforms and get Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4, get 1 free sale. Free monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special. Restrictions apply.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello. This Epic battery. This is Marlin Tires now on Wolf Road 2.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Are you seeking exceptional health care beyond the traditional hospital setting? Introducing Doctors Hospital Clinics, your trusted destination for comprehensive care. Our full-service locations provide affordable services through our Loyalty Advantage membership program and NHI. Experience seamless care with our integrated health system, where your medical history travels with you, ensuring continuity of care. Book an appointment today at clinics.doctorshosp.com. We make primary care easy.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now, different inside and out.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, go play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
When you think you're in love, you want to share everything. But the one thing you should share is your HIV status. Be smart. Know your partner and your partner's HIV status.
Know your HIV status. Get tested. A message from the Pan American Health Organization and the HIV/AIDS Center, Ministry of Health.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, August 26th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. We had been hoping to have the National Training Agency with us this morning, but something has come up, and we hope we can reschedule with them.
It's back to school, so perhaps something's happening, took a bit more of their time than expected.
Right, or maybe they'll be very late. I'm not sure what's happening, but we have a lot of your messages from our previous hour. We've been dealing with a lot of things, talking about banking and bank reform. Everybody's talking about that now. The F&M, the central bank, the government, everybody focused on that. We've got a lot of your comments on that on our text line, and you can continue to text in 422-4796. And you can call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. You can call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. We were also talking about crime earlier, and we've got a lot of your messages about that. That led into other discussions about the lawlessness on the streets from young folks pop their bikes all over the place.
Styling.
Okay. All over the place. And then earlier in the show, I started off talking about how with schools back, lots of people are driving. I guess they have to wake up very early to get to where they need to go. And so the much larger number of cars driving around this morning without any headlights on than usual. I suspect these are not regular people up at this hour. But a good rule to live by is if you don't see the sun, you need your headlights on. So that's morning or evening, whatever it is. No sun, turn on your headlight. And that means on an overcast day.
Yes.
Because people cannot see you, especially if you're in a dark car.
Yeah.
And your vehicle is tinted. Or even if it's not, you just can blend into the background and no one can see you. And we've got a lot of two-lane roads now. And people will merge in your lane. And the next thing you know, you're on the median.
Listen, let's not start talking about how folks don't know or not false. Using the roundabouts and whatnot. Like, I find it curious trying to understand and appreciate how some persons may not know, like, okay, if you're on the inner lane, this is where you can get off. Or if you're on the outer lane on a roundabout, this is where you can get off. I literally was in 1 inch of being hit on Saturday by somebody driving it's a brand new 2025 SD vehicle, whatnot. I think it was, I couldn't determine where the elderly couple was from or whatnot. And I'm like, you almost hit me because that's an exit lane that you're in.
No one knows what that means.
Oh, gosh.
No. So you really do take your life into your own hands every day when you get on any street in the Bahamas. What
do they say? You're driving for yourself and others.
Oh, no. Well, all right. So we're talking about, and I got a lot, as I said, a lot of your text messages. Caller, we'll get to in just a second. I just want to read some of these. These came in a little while back. This person, I think somebody mentioned this. Was it you or a caller or a texter about education levels? What does education level have to do with level of corruption? The two are not correlated, as corruption is seen in first and third world countries. That doesn't mean if you're in a first world that you're educated. It doesn't mean that. But anyway, and everything in between. It's not an education issue, but a morality issue.
Yeah, I know it was a caller that had brought that up to say we need to focus on education and whatnot. Yeah.
We look at crime and point the finger, but let's talk about the well-dressed professionals that run the traffic lights every day. All that is crime. All that is crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a crazy one. Ever notice that 80% of the murdered people are wearing Nike flip-flops?
What is that a statistic that the police puts up? Because I've never heard that.
This is what this person says. Ever notice?
Oh.
And what do you think that means, texter? That Nike is what? What does it mean? If that is the case, what does that mean?
So a shoe preference is a correlation for death rates.
Nike sponsors death. I don't know. What are you saying? What is your point? Anyway, I've seen some young police officers popping. What's that about? Now, how do you know? You know that you see them in their uniform. Yeah, what are you saying too? Everybody's just talking nonsense today. What's going on?
Or their personal bikes in police
But you
uniform.
know them. Like, hey, that's that cop who gave me a ticket. He's popping on a bike. What's going on?
Like, oh, wow.
Well, that's what the caller was saying, that a lot of the poppers, what's that they call? Pop stylists?
Oh, look at
Pop
you.
stylers are the ones on the bike. No, those, they can't be. I mean, I know the police force, they're getting younger, but these are little kids. I've seen lots of young guys.
You
So I
haven't seen some of
cannot
the newer
imagine
officers.
that they'd be,
They're also kind of young.
So you think and they're doing the cornrows and popping off on the bike.
It wasn't me who said that. I can't
okay.
speak, so I don't know that.
Sure. I was giving a friend of mine, as a text, a ride with her kid, and the kid didn't want to sit down in the back. I told the mother to tell her daughter to sit down. She said she's just having fun. I had to get out and strap the kid down myself.
Yeah, that happens more often than not. I was, again, driving. You realize if you look around, you see all of these infractions. I was waiting to be let out of a corner, and an SUV, a midsize SUV, passed me. And the child, who looks no older than about 7 or so, was leaning out of the backseat window so close to the front, like they were literally right behind the passenger front seat. And I'm like, so first of all, that child is so small, they should be in because they were very small, right? They should be in a car seat. But further than that, is like, God forbid, if there was some sort of accident, that child would have been propelled straight through the windshield. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how is it that you have to secure the children, people need to be secured in the vehicles? And we're not even talking about the difference in quality of the vehicles that are nowadays compared to the past, is by virtue of just sheer protection, preservation.
No.
Why are we not using our seatbelts? Especially when it has that little annoying ding, 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 ding until you put it on in some
people are
cars.
driving around with that while they call you while on a cell phone driving, calling you with that ding, ding, ding in the background. I'm like, what is that noise in the background? Oh, that's just a seatbelt warning. I'm like, so you're calling me on a cell phone, plus you're not wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Like, thanks a lot. And I get to hear this ding, ding, ding for 5 minutes while we talk.
Oh, goodness.
So it's just great.
I literally refuse to have conversations with people while driving. I don't like doing that.
Good for you.
I don't like doing that.
Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Well, thanks for taking my call. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
I hope all is well.
Trying.
While I was driving and listening to you all, but thank God my phone comes through the stereo system.
Hey, love that.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if the police have anything in place now for when school opens. Are we, the public, going to be at the mercy of the people who cutting in or who overtaking or what? Because they never have a plan, and it's always school don't have to be a chaotic thing, to open in the first day. If they would sit in strategic places and let the people see them, and everybody takes their turn, everybody will get where they're going within the right amount of time. I hope they are proactive, and especially that bus station by the police. Well, that's not even a bus station, but the Grove Police Station, where the buses stop on the curb or right in the front of the police station.
Wow.
And not a police will come out there and tell them, look, man, you can't be doing that. Because people coming around the roundabout behind them got to slam brakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the police wouldn't come out there and stand them there or say nothing to them. Now, coming up Gladstone Road, everybody, if I know these things, the police know these things.
We all wonder those things. They have to see it, right?
Is going to be cutting in, coming over on the next side, cutting in and trying to get down to the roundabout way ahead of everybody else. Yeah. Can't you have a police station right at the foot of the hill and one probably over the hill? When they pass them speeding, the fellow over the hill could get... They don't think like criminals. The police have to think like criminals. They would put a roadblock where you could see them a mile away and turn around and go back. And common sense they don't have. A lot of this is because of their common sense and their approach to things. Because they don't have to wake up. I mean, with the traffic. Now, the murders and things are different things. But the traffic, if they would just station themselves and sit somewhere so the people could see them, the fellas then wouldn't be taking all these chances and overtaking and speeding. It's just like in the States when you driving on those long drives. When you coming up to a curve and you slow down because the police are hiding in the bush around the bend. Even if he isn't there, you think he's there. But we have to think like the criminals. The police have to think like they're a criminal in some situations.
Yeah. Great
I
points.
just came from out west, and I haven't seen one patrol car, and I'm now in the Angleston.
Yeah, we will see. And we know the first at least 3 weeks, it's crazy, right? When schools open and then suddenly things change. It's like, what, kid, you got it now? Well,
yeah, maybe. That's
but yeah, the first 3 weeks are going to be hellish. But yeah, I don't know. Will there be? It never happened before where it seems like there is a strategy.
But that's a possibility. How about we suggest this, right? Like we were talking about it. Like,
just suggested. Let's see.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. That I think that Gladstone Road thing always gets me when I'm coming down by Lakeview or whatnot. When the person is literally coming down in the lane on the side of me to like pretend like they're going to the airport road. We all know you ain't going there.
See, now here's the thing.
We all know you ain't
As someone
going
who
there.
goes to the movie theater quite a bit, some of us are actually coming from the movie theater, and then people looking at you, look at this guy trying to get in here. But some of us are actually trying to get in. So not everybody is a rule breaker.
I'm not saying everybody is.
But that's how everyone acts.
No, but again, it's so confusing to me.
Of course, that big 18-wheeler is doing foolishness. Like, why are you here?
Look here, I saw one of them the other day, and I was like, this vehicle is too big for you to be driving that fast and cutting that corner that close. And I'm like,
I'm doing that now. When I see you up, you're going the opposite direction as me, but you're going way too fast. I'm blowing my horn and flash my lights at you. Like, what is your problem? Of course, that means nothing to anybody.
No,
but I'm blowing my horn in disapproval.
Well, I mean, what if the police did it? I wonder,
What, blow the horn in disapproval?
I mean, do something.
No, they got to turn around and chase that person. Like, what is your problem? Why are you going 80? But, we have another issue here where people are going well under the speed limit.
I literally test that on the daily.
A massive problem, especially on East West Highway and Independence Drive, where the speed limit is 45.
Yeah.
And they haven't officially made it 45 on Tawny Bloom Sterling Highway, but they need to address that quickly.
But at certain points it is, right? Because you'll see
Is
it
it
on
45?
No. So you'll see the markers that says 35 or 30, and then it says 45 at certain points.
Yeah, so people clearly have never taken a driving test and don't know that there's a 45 here and are going 20 miles per hour.
But I mean, that doesn't say you have to drive at that.
You
That's
don't
the
need
issue.
to be
That's
going
the issue.
20 miles under the speed limit. You are only going to cause problems.
But again, are they breaking a law? I get what you're saying, but are they breaking a law?
And then you decide to go 20 miles per hour right
On
next
the
to another
sidewalk,
car
yes.
that's going 20 miles per hour, and the two of you idiots are blocking up the whole highway that has a 45.
But you realize,
speed limit.
what I've seen some drivers actually do when that happens.
Talk
they will
to each other?
bully. No, they will bully one of the two.
Oh, yeah.
Into like
That's
scooting
me.
up.
That's
right.
me.
Oh Lord.
That's me. I'm blowing my horn. I'm weaving back and forth. And I'm and flashing my lights at both of you. Because what are you doing? Why are you all holding hands on this highway and going 20 miles per hour?
They're catching up. I've actually seen a pair of bus drivers do that before. Like they were legit carrying on a conversation side by side. I'm like, this is real life. It is.
At least they were driving. I've seen them stop to talk.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
So we got lots of issues, and this is what we're talking about. What are the police doing about this? How come we see this, but the police don't see this? And
Man, they see it. It's just like, what could they do? What are they willing to do? What are they able to do? And if they actually do something, will the courts or the system support what they are recommending or what they say should be done?
And if that is a problem, then the legislators need to do something.
I mean, the
Right?
MPs
So
now?
make the laws work. Make it so that we can see you on CCTV doing foolishness, and we're coming for you. We've got your license plate number. Well, there you go. Never mind. Let me stop talking.
I was just like,
because
come on
then
now.
you go. Half the people on the streets don't have license plates at the moment, so you'll never know. It was
Man,
just that's 10,000 cars.
They start giving out the plates. I thought I saw a notice last week to say some of the plates were ready.
Well, for the ones that are ready.
Oh, I thought maybe
Not
I
for
thought they were
everybody.
doing it in waves. No, which is so sad, man.
Waves on a lake, a pond.
No, man.
Yeah.
I want to keep hope alive. I really do.
That's
I
good.
really do.
Keep it alive. Very good. 323-6232.
I need you to do better. I need you to do better. Yes.
Me or them?
Well, us all.
Okay.
We all need to. Let us move forward and upward and onward together. Let's have hope as we do it. Let's work together, no?
325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. This texter says here, drugs and prostitution, the number is also big industries in the Bahamas today.
Right. Do we have the?
Well, the
so
numbers
those are
that count as
regulated?
financial services. No, that wouldn't count as gaming. Would
I mean,
be
technically,
separate.
I thought that gaming is they put
That's
that under
separate.
like tourism or something like that.
Oh boy, so it's
I mean,
straddling
depends.
1 and 2.
Right. Because I think they actually put right.
It's number 1.5. Is that what you say?
I'm trying to figure out,
1.5
like, where
industry.
do they actually put it in? Where do they put it in? Yeah, we all know about the prostitution thing, but it isn't just the prostitution in the way that we think of it. So, I mean, sweethearting is a very big business, you know. It's a very big business.
You think it like impacts the GDP?
No, I mean, technically, if you look at somebody who's making a certain amount of money, but they're actually expending the amount of 2 salaries, think about it. Like, I think that's that needs to be studied. Like Dwight is making, let's
Why
just say,
you bring me in this
hypothetically.
example?
Let's say,
Could have been any number of names you mentioned. I don't understand.
we say hypothetically, Dwight is making
All the names. How
100,000.
about John Doe?
Okay, John
Right,
Doe.
right,
Since
right.
Dwight is a happily married,
Decent.
monogamous man.
That's right.
Right. So you have John Doe who is
Speaking into
making
existence at least. Go on.
Anyway, John Doe's make 100,000, right? Then he got to maintain his household, you know, with the wife and the children in that household. And then he have Susie down the street, who he also got a house with return. So then, you know, he have 2 sets of economies going on right there that he got to maintain off of
I
that
think
one
the central
salary.
bank does studies on this.
Well, I mean, technically, John Doe in this scenario is a central bank inside this little thing going on right there, right? But no, I think we actually do need numbers like that because, like, we've been having that from time immemorial, where you have one man servicing multiple households. Now, to be fair, the flip side of that is he has the wife, he got Susie, and in some cases, he may have the one who ain't even got no type of financial compensation because he ain't got it like that, you know.
Right. It's just the fun one. Wow. Okay. More text messages. This is a long one. Deandra, you're not alone in your questioning. Wholesale company buys goods and pays VAT. Store owner purchases from wholesale company and pays VAT. Consumer buys from store company, store owner, and pays VAT from all 3 times from on one item.
That's why it
Where
costs
is the accounting for this?
We've been
This
asking
was
that
not
question.
the way it's supposed to go. You remember when they rolled out, they were talking
I
about
remember very
tiny
well.
percent here, and then at the end it would add up to
Yes.
the 7.5%. But right before the rollout, all of a sudden it was 7.5 everywhere. And that has continued to the 12% and now 10%. And we're getting double, triple, quadruple time VAT.
When you look at it, and if you question it, it's almost as though you can't ask the merchant because the merchant is only doing what the government tell them that they got to do. And there's a lot of red tape involved in all of this, right? And then we still don't have an accounting of what all this VAT money getting used for in the first place. Anyway, but beside that, we getting charged too much
we
things.
know what it is. But
Give me a report that actually says this is the
let's
VAT
go to
money.
the consolidated account. So it's going to
Tell
pay
me,
for everything.
give me a
Consolidated
report that
fund.
tells me how much VAT money we've
Paying
received
for-
since we've introduced
Oh, no,
VAT.
we can
Let
give
me
you that.
see a report that actually says we collected this amount of money in
No,
VAT
that's
in the year of
available.
our Lord 2000. And so when we first introduced, what happened with the fluctuation when it went up to 12? What happened with the fluctuation when it went down to 10?
That's definitely available. That is definitely available.
Up to now.
Yeah.
Up to now.
Yes.
Today.
You can get that today, but I mean to
2024.
to the last fiscal year, absolutely, and you can get that. That is easy, but it's going to what's it going to use to be used for? It's been paying off consultants and salaries and all the other things the government, the other debt that they
Right.
have.
So is
And
that in that
but
same
I mean,
document? No. I'm asking about the use of the funds.
it all goes into consolidated fund. So whatever the government needs to pay for and buy, that's where it's going.
I mean, with every other tax.
Yes.
All of it goes in the same thing. So there's no separate.
No.
So we cannot say what the VAT money is being used for directly, other than it's going in the same fund, being
Going
spent
to
on everything.
all the things they need to spend money on.
Okay.
But you can easily get that information, how much has been collected. That is easy. And they've been doing a good job with that part.
Mhm.
So at least there we can say that.
And how many
they've been
times
making
have they
money.
been collecting VAT from all the different levels?
As in what they was?
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. No, I don't want. I know the numbers are available.
Mhm.
I'm talking about an actual study on the numbers, where they're coming from, the origins, if that makes sense, right? So if we're looking at from the VAT that is charged from import, like you actually bring it into the country, to the wholesaler, from the wholesaler to the retailer, and to the person who's finally receiving. Yeah, that's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
sure it exists.
Is it publicly available?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get that to you so you can study it.
Yes,
but
I want
that's available. Absolutely. And even with the budget, you'll see that as well.
No, I've seen that. I've seen the budget.
Yeah. All right. So here's some more text messages. What the government needs to do is legislate that banks must pay a minimum of 15% of their weighted average interest income on all facilities to depositors. That is, if the weighted average rate is 8.5%, the rate paid to depositors would be 1.27%. They presently pay 0.25% or so.
I like how this person is thinking. I like how this person is thinking, because it is also based off of that was a previous caller, a texter, talking about the use of our funds that we have stored at the bank and that how they are, and the banks benefit from that, but the person who actually owns the money doesn't. That's what they're talking about. Love that.
Okay. This is back to an earlier text about the mastermind driving Beamers and Volvos.
Oh, dear.
The person says the mastermind doesn't touch guns. That's why he's the mastermind. He wears a suit and goes to all the cocktail parties out west and occasionally shares his wealth with some of the people running the country. And then they add to the Nike flip-flop, the other person with that. Nike flip-flops, I've noticed that 100% of the murder accused have hair. Well...
So if you be specific, you're aware.
Downing the
Oh gosh.
the Nike flip-flop theory there.
No.
Right. Oh boy. Let's go down the rabbit hole, Dwight. Maybe they are sacrificing them for Nike, and also the devil isn't real. He's just a conspiracy, or the texter's making a very precise observation. Well, I mean, it could be anything, right? But what do you propose to do now if that is right? It's just weird. Anyway, I just drove by a roadblock where a car was not licensed, but he was saved by the car in front who got pulled over. Police became occupied with them, and they didn't notice the unlicensed vehicle. Now, what do you mean by unlicensed? You mean they didn't have a license plate? And that's what you mean? Or what do you mean? And how do you know? But if it's a license plate, I mean, again, that's a very common thing. Unfortunately, right now, the plates aren't available. Someone sent me a picture of them after months just getting their plates, and there's a whole lot missing. There's a whole lot missing. You remember, like, on the older ones, they had flags and they had a barcode.
Yeah.
But the new ones didn't have the flag or the barcode.
Oh.
And, like, wait, what's happening?
What's going on? Are those authentic?
So we're looking for trouble. We are looking for trouble. I guess
We've
they're cranking them out so quickly.
found
Yeah,
trouble,
we're in trouble.
Dwight.
We're in trouble. But they're trying to crank these out so quickly that they're missing a lot of the things that we're told the other ones needed to have or that they did have.
No, it's the license plate 2.0.
Fewer features.
Yeah.
And crappier paint.
Yeah, more cost effective. Easier to produce.
Well.
Fills a gap.
Boy. I saw a guy reversing on the airport highway trying to avoid a roadblock.
I heard about that.
From the airport police station to Blake Road.
Yo.
Well, you all, anyway, could you do that? Could the other drivers have tried to block him, or would they be?
Think about it. If you see a car coming reversing at you on a highway, you're trying to avoid that person because clearly something ain't right.
I mean, it's not going to end well for you if you try to block that person in, I guess. But that would be one of the things that jumped into my mind. Like, okay, you ain't going nowhere. I'm going to block you in. Of course, then I'd be shot.
So this is what I'm trying to figure out. You know those people who they say won't survive on certain movies.
Right, Karen. They'd Karen me. Okay, Karen, and then I'd be done in. Right. And you need to mind your own business. Did you see that? Somebody showed this was very disturbing on one of the either 242 Bahamas News something, one of them. Mm-hmm. Somebody sent in a picture of a car that was just parked in the middle of the road as the driver decided to go in a shopping center. What? And he just parked in the median. And so the person took the picture, like, look at this madness. This person has just parked their car here. And more people, about 60% of the people were like, you need to mind your own business. You all Karens don't have anything to do. I bet you were the kid in school who used to tell the teacher when everybody used to do something. And like, wait, this is the response?
Not outrage,
No.
not breaking the law.
They're like, what's the problem? Mind your business. This car's not bothering anybody. Why did you even take this picture? Go take a picture of your ma, stuff like that. Like, what? That's the Bahamian people
Okay,
today.
so be devil's advocate. Why is it wrong to park on the median there when people are parking on the median in other spaces that they're not supposed to park in
Where are
other
they
parts
doing
of the island?
Where are they doing that? Well, now when I say median, this is not like the grass ones. This is like right just on the middle of the road, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
No raised
So it's okay
median,
so
no
it's okay
sidewalk
you can
median.
park on the grass median.
No, I'm not saying that
No,
it is
I really
either,
want to know.
but
Can we park
I
on
really
grass
can't
medians?
imagine why or how you could.
No, because I'm particularly thinking about the Goodman's Bay area. I'm just
Right.
I'm
No,
just,
I have
just-
done that before for
Because
a
if you
fun
don't have-
run walk one morning. There was no other place to park. It wasn't hurting anybody.
Right? So this person
Very
probably
different.
thought.
It's very different. There's no grass median here. This was the middle of the road.
So, but if it was a grass median.
See, this is why we can't get anywhere. No. Were you talking about me when you brought that up?
No.
This feels like very personal.
No.
But it's very different.
No. Actually, why I brought that up is because, when gold, I don't know if I can say anyway, when the new place out that way that don't have enough parking for the people who work for them, they used to park everywhere. Everywhere in the Goodman's Bay area. Like literally the parking lot would be full before like 8 o'clock in the morning or whatnot. And there were cars parked on the side of the road, cars parked on the median, cars were parked on the roundabout. So again,
On the roundabout?
On the roundabout. Like I promise you, it was the strangest thing I'd ever seen. One of the strangest things. I was like, how you even get up there? Because these were little cars. It was like that has a rise. Like
A friend
how?
of mine told me that picture and sent it to one of these same news, quotation marks, online news sites about, look at this guy selling cars, little hatchbacks on the median, on the roundabout. They're parked on the roundabout.
Yes.
And everybody, he said, almost 90% of the, 90, if there were 120 comments, 90 of them were about how he hopes people would say, I hope they break into your house and steal all your stuff because you all know to mind your own business. And
But it's public property. It's a public occurrence.
people were very angry with him for exposing this person who's
'cause they
just
block-
trying to make a living.
Right, yeah, blocking his hustle.
Why? Yeah, why are you blocking his hustle? Why are you so selfish and greedy? Well, so what if he's parked on that roundabout? What's it to you?
My. We need to get the ordinances. Could somebody tell us if it's illegal to park?
Will that matter to anyone? I'm not bothering anybody. Why are you bothering me?
Mm-hmm.
This mentality is going to be very detrimental for us and hard to change from where we are, to pivot from this, where everything goes, this mentality, right?
No, but think about it. If it's already ingrained inside the adult minds,
Exactly.
it's difficult to change the way of thinking. It takes generations to change the way of thinking. So if the adult mind's already thinking like that, that means that the child's minds are also being molded that way. How do you change that?
It's going to be rough.
And then also, again, as you said, I know like we've been laughing about it, but honestly, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. If you see something as minor as parking on a median as something not problematic, then you transfer that way of thinking onto other things.
So I want to know, seriously, am I the only one who would have thought about blocking the guy and who's trying to reverse? No?
No. I probably would have did the same
But
thing.
they'd smash into your car and they would shoot you.
Well,
but,
this is the thing.
But would there be others who'd join me?
I think there would. Now, if they knew that there was a likelihood of them getting shot, most likely not.
You better believe there's a likelihood.
There's
We're in
always a
Nassau,
likelihood. There's always a likelihood.
right? Blow your horn at somebody wrong. You get.
Listen, I was getting fish. This was a couple of years ago from down by Montague, and again, as an island girl, whatnot like that, you can't be trying to overcharge me for certain things or trying to do the wrong thing, right? So if I could talk to you or tell you, ask you questions about why you're trying to do the wrong thing with the thing that I'm trying to buy, the babe was literally like, he was like, I could cut you now with this cutlass, you know.
He didn't say that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And he literally started carrying on bad, trying to scare me with it. And I was like, I can't say that part on him. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't afraid to do that just because I was questioning.
Which one was this? Potterski?
Montague, the Montague fish ramp.
Oh, boy.
They be carrying on bad. That's what I'm saying. It's like in different areas. Like people, it ain't just the shotguns you got to worry about. Like people got other type of weapons or whatnot, and in different environments. It's crazy.
My goodness. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Maybe we were talking about you. Were you parked in the median recently? Did you park your cars for sale on a roundabout?
It is Monday.
Were you reversing?
It is Monday. You don't want the smoke on a Monday. Stop it.
Well, I want them to explain. Maybe they have to defend themselves. Were you reversing on a highway because of the roadblock ahead? Was that you?
I've literally
Tell
seen
us all about
people
it.
come out of the cars for the
Leave the car right there?
They parked on. So it's two instances. Like somebody got out of the car and then started walking back. The other person kept driving, but this other person got out of the car and then started walking in the opposite direction. Then I saw multiple cars. Like that's when I figured that there's a roadblock happening or whatnot. When I see multiple cars parked on the side of the airport road, and I was like, "What in the world is going on?" Now usually there's one or two cars that scary. Every so often that may have some issues in the morning or whatnot, or may have been in an accident. But when you see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like, no, there's something happening here.
Mm-hmm.
But then they always say, miraculously, during roadblocks, so many cars just automatically start having mechanical issues, engine issues. So
the long line causes the cars to overheat.
Mm-hmm.
This person says here, there's not enough traffic cops, Dwight. We need to get back to decentralization where each station has traffic cops and CID officers. So, okay. I hear you. This person says here, police are smart, though. They have cars before the roadblocks, so when you pull a one... Do they have that? Okay. I mean, I haven't seen that recently, but that would make sense, right? People, through all the corners that you could possibly try to escape through, and we're like, stopping them, where are you going? This person says here, I haven't gotten any notices about the pages that what? The pages that are, maybe you're trying to say, are ready. I've been trying to ask on the road traffic site, but that does, the plates. The plates that are ready, but the road traffic site doesn't work. Yeah, well, good luck trying to get information out of them. This person says here, Deidre should pick a side. First, she agreed that government meddling in private enterprise is a slippery slope, and now she says she agrees with regulation. Which side is she on?
Never. Y'all really putting words in my mouth today.
You could agree with both of these, though, that it is a slippery slope and that there needs to be some regulation. Both could be true.
Those could be true.
Yeah. So, Dwight and Deandra, in former years, it was obvious when a vehicle was not licensed for the year. The inspection sticker for the year was a certain color and a decal attached to the plate. So it appears as if our letting it easier for people to break the laws.
That sounds like a quick fix and just go back to what it used to be.
They still have the year on the windshield decal, though.
Yeah, but that's why they have to stop you to look so close.
Mm-hmm. But you could see that from far away. You could see see the people driving around with 2021 on their windshield. We need an annual tax-free day. Every year, there's a special time of the year that is completely VAT-free, maybe around back to school. That's happening right now, Texter. The back to school VAT holiday is happening right now. We're in week 2 of it, mid-September. That is a whole month, practically, of the VAT-free, back to school VAT-free holiday.
What we're saying is the VAT already gone on that item from the point of import, purchase, import, wholesale, retail. So you already getting the VAT on top of the price. So you're only saving money on that final price, but it already got taxed like twice or 3 times in some cases.
Well, outside of the VAT holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now if truly a VAT holiday would be, if I could have catched that from the beginning on that item, but that's not feasible. So because the wholesaler or the import company, if it's the wholesaler, sometimes it's not the same, already paid that. So then they have to mark that up.
Yeah.
Right? And then if the retailer purchases from the wholesaler, they already paid the wholesaler the VAT on it, so they have to mark it up.
Well, they don't have to. They don't have to. But some do. Some do. But hey. Folks, you all are forgetting that the new Bahamian citizens, are the C, D, and E school leavers. Oh, I think a lot of the old ones were those as well. So I don't know what you're saying. But anyway, E school leavers from the 1990s to the 2000s who are now parents. What else can you expect from ignorant citizens? Well, I think some of their grandparents were worse. I don't even know if they finished school, so I don't know what you're saying. But in any event, we shouldn't expect much, I suspect, is the conclusion we can come to based on your text. This text here says, it's essential to address the double standard in our country. While many people criticize the police for not effectively managing traffic infractions, it's worth noting that a significant number of these critics are active participants in multiple WhatsApp and Facebook groups where they share information about the location of police stops. That is very true. Plenty of people are in the WhatsApp.
We were talking about a couple months ago. Like there are several roadblock groups, several groups about where police hotspots may be, things like that. Like they exist.
But the police say they know about them and they are in them. They are secretly in them. And so I'm monitoring them too. But I wish they could go and do something about the person who tells people about a roadblock, right? Like if you tweet it or Instagram it or WhatsApp it out there, like, maybe there should be a fine for you. Or is that freedom of speech?
Do we have true freedom of speech?
Again, anyway, I wouldn't block anyone in on the highway if they're trying to escape the law. You wouldn't, right? So what does that say about you? Does that say something? That you support criminality, or you just want to be peaceful and mind your own business?
Peaceful, mindful. Ooh, you got to be.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please. Please don't do that. People to paint the bathrooms at Saunders Beach tan. I wanted it repainted pink. It's a very random text. Very random.
Well, who's in charge of choosing the colors? Maybe tan was the cheapest option. Maybe it was left over from which other part within the government. And isn't pink for health services? Because I think the government buildings. Here? Well, the government buildings, I think there are some rules for the colors that they should be. Like all of the health-related ones tend to be pink. At least public clinics and things like that. Education is yellow and green for the most part.
You mean schools?
Yes.
Police stations are all that horrible green.
That green and white.
I guess they picked that one because no one would paint their house that color.
Oh,
so
boy.
we might as well paint this police station that color. Like,
those are the three that I remember off the top of my head. Now, tan, I don't know. I feel like there was a tan inside there, but I can't remember who that is.
So, this is an update on the guy who was reversing to avoid the roadblock.
Oh, they know the person that saw him too?
No. This is the driver who saw it. The texter says he was cursing people while we blew our horns at him.
Oh.
Well, boy.
Are you telling me that
that guy, boy? I mean, did he have a license plate? That's because, right? I mean, he probably didn't. But did he have one? Could you report him to the police? Hey, did you see the guy in the Honda? It was a Honda. I bet you it was a Honda.
What you have against Honda people?
And did you see him? Here, I got his plate number. And right, did you give that to the police? That would have been good.
I don't think it sounds like this person had
it. If it wasn't a Honda, it was a note.
You being real discriminatory today.
I'm just telling you how it's been. When we expose evils in a society, they call us snitching. Don't be a snitch. Dry snitching. Snitches get stitches for exposing people. Okay. And who was the fellow who got away with the marijuana drug bust? The mosquitoes and sandflies eat them, or what? No, I don't know what's happening. Anyway, this is serious. Okay, we got to stop that one. Do you know everyone diverting from a roadblock is not because of a possible infraction? Oh, no, you do know. Did you know this? You do know that everyone diverting from a roadblock is not because of possible infraction. I don't know this. What it would be. I applaud the police for doing their job, but if I see a roadblock, I'm diverting because it's wasting my time and I drive a manual car. Really? I don't know if I buy that. I don't know. Well, what? Okay. Boy, I wouldn't block anyone in on that. Yeah, you said it right. Block them in and get shot. Really? I mean, you're thinking that's not possible, or that we shouldn't have said it, because it's quite possible. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan. How are you today?
Doing well. Good morning.
Good morning to your guest as well.
Morning.
Just wanted to kind of add just a little 2 cents that I think a lot of people have overlooked or forgetting. And I'm sorry to have to say it like this. I will try to say this as diplomatically as I can. Unfortunately, here in the Bahamas, we have 2 sets of people. There are black people, and there are niggers.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my word.
Oh, boy. Okay. Are you going to go on?
No, they hung up.
What? That's it?
That was...
oh, boy. I think we have more than 2 sets, though. But okay, I hear you. I read that already. I agree. These stores don't pass down the savings. The government reduced many taxes on eggs, yet it's still $5. Our agencies are not consistent with watching these things. Okay. People have started parking in Goodman's Bay on the grass itself. We have our children playing while we walk, and you have the odd car entering the parking from the western parking lot. That entrance or gap needs to be sealed. Okay. People can't get in trouble for a traffic group saying there's a roadblock on Milo Butler Highway. Please avoid. People can't. Well, I think they should. I think they should. You're helping criminals avoid the law, and they're driving often without the requirements, the right to have a motor vehicle on the streets, and then they're going to hit your car, and then they're going to leave the scene, and plus you'll find out they didn't have insurance and they didn't have anything, and so you're going to be stuck with the bill, and then your life is going to go down, but you're fine with this. Okay. Boy. I don't understand. Hey, let's take a break. And we come back. We've got the final 3 minutes of the show. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Hey Bahamas, ready for some eye-openers? Check out 2 brand new books by our legendary 3-time PM, Hubert Ingram. Get the tea on his amazing leadership. Books are for you. The Game Changers, Movers and Shakers, and anyone passionate about our nation's roots and future. Available now at Dungalik Studios, Logos Bookstore, the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas, and Chapter 1 Bookstore. Score your copies today. Celebrate our amazing legacy.
Nassau, get ready for a night you simply won't want to miss. For the first time in over 40 years, experience an evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruiseport on Saturday, October 5th. Tickets are on sale now. Go to ticketboxevents.com or go to the Nassau Cruiseport box office, located in the Junkanoo Museum. Joining Eddie on stage, Fran Sean, Gino D, Iris Stoll, and Tinghamden. An evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruiseport, Saturday, October 5th. Get your tickets now.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Bahamian Contractors Association President Leonard Sands says the Construction Contractors Board must be established with urgency, and he says that he's encouraged that Prime Minister Philip Davis plans to meet with the construction industry. Last Thursday, Office of the Prime Minister Press Secretary Keishla Adderley said Davis plans to meet with the industry to hear their concerns. Sands telling Guardian Business that it's very encouraging. Construction is currently the country's third industry. However, regulation of the sector has not been seen as a top priority. The Contractors Act was needed to protect the consumers and long awaited by the industry and long promised over several administrations before it was passed in Parliament. The law provides for a consumer code, a builder's defects compensation scheme, and a dispute settlement mechanism for aggrieved parties. You can read more on that in today's Guardian Business section. In your market watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday, your market movers, APD Limited moving 115 shares, closing at 44.64 unchanged. Colina Holdings moving 400 unchanged at 11.20. Commonwealth Bank moving 10,000 down 1 cent to $5.03. Consolidated Water down 8 cents to $5.39. Emira Incorporated up 6 cents, closing at $9.12. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,964.45, down 0.03. Recapping the week, the local market ended the week with 64,838 shares crossing the exchange with 17 trades, accumulating a value of $312,313. The BISX All-Share Index gained 19.51 points, or 0.66%, ending the week at 2,963.26. Year-to-date, the index is up 111.62 points, or 3.91%. The week's volume and value leader, Commonwealth Bank, moving 37,423 shares in 8 trades for a value of $188,137. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And that's going to do it for us, Deandra Cartwright. Thank you so much,
Dwight, Strachan, for having me.
I'll see you again next week.
Yes.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Calling all young champions, supportive sidekicks, and wise mentors. Are you ready to unleash your back-to-school superpowers? Fly into John Bull Business Center, gear up, and enjoy a super 20% off all school supplies and 10% off on teaching aids. And that's not all. With every purchase now through September 7th, enter to win a $3,000 shopping spree. Zoom in to John Bull Business Center today and gear up like a true super student. Back to school is around the corner. Move to the top of the class with this amazing Scotiabank Back to School credit card offer. You could win your share of prize money valuing $10,000 when you spend $150 card to purchase books, uniforms, technology items, or other academic items. 10 lucky customers will each win $2,000 in cash back towards their purchases. Promotion runs July 12th through September 30th, 2024. Drawing date is Friday, October 11th, 2024.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.